Congratulations. You have just spent the last 8 months of your life trapped inside a calcium-walled prison. You have been buried 8 centimeters deep in the suffocating heat of a Mexican sandbank, not moving, not growing, just waiting in a state of suspended animation while the summer sun literally bakes the dirt above your head. Your mother? She is long gone. She dug this hole back in September, dropped 5 eggs like they were unwanted luggage, and vanished into the murky water without a single backward glance. That is how your story begins. 263 days of silence. This is one of the longest developmental periods for any small turtle on the planet. And for what? To be born the size of a grape. Then the rain arrives. The soil turns to heavy, wet sludge. You feel the moisture seeping through your shell, and your instincts scream at you to move. You crack the egg and begin the agonizing climb. You are clawing through wet sand with legs thinner than matchsticks, fighting gravity for 40 minutes just to reach the surface. When you finally break through and see daylight for the first time, you are exactly 19 millimeters long. You are smaller than a 1-cent coin. Your shell is soft, flexible, and has a bright orange underbelly that screams "Eat me" to every predator within a mile. Around you, 4 of your siblings are pushing through the dirt, blinking at a world they were never meant to conquer. And then, the copper wave arrives. Tropical fire ants. Hundreds of them. They do not hunt you. They simply happen upon you. And to them, you are a mountain of fresh, soft protein. They reach your brother first while he is still half buried in the nest. He is kicking his tiny legs, trying to find traction, but the ants are already pouring into the gaps between his shell and his skin. They bite the soft tissue, injecting venom that causes his nervous system to shut down. He stops moving in 30 seconds. You watch as they begin to drag him underground in pieces before he ever even saw the sun. You scramble. Your legs were not built for sprinting. Your species is designed to walk slowly along the bottom of quiet ponds, not to win a land race against a swarm of hungry insects. But panic is a powerful biological engine. You tumble over wet leaves, slide down a muddy slope, and hit the water 20 meters away. Behind you, 2 more of your siblings disappear under the red swarm. 3 out of 5 are dead in the first 10 minutes of life. You sink to the bottom. You do not swim like a graceful sea turtle. You walk. You crawl along the substrate, hiding in the silt until the ants are far behind. You think you are safe because you found a lagoon, but look around. Other turtles get to live in massive lakes or the open ocean. You just crawled into a puddle the size of a parking lot. Your entire world consists of a few scattered puddles totaling 32 soccer fields. That is it. That is the entire kingdom of the Vallarta mud turtle, and the human world is trying to delete it from the map. Your lagoon is a shallow, warm, duckweed-choked swamp tucked inside Puerto Vallarta, one of Mexico's biggest tourist destinations. There are luxury hotels on one side and a shopping mall on the other. You are living in a biological dead end, and your body has a catastrophic design flaw that makes everything worse. Most mud turtles are built like tanks. They have 2 hinges on their belly plate that allow them to seal their shells completely shut like a bank vault. When a predator attacks, they tuck in and wait it out. But in your species, the front hinge does not close all the way. There is a permanent gap. Your only defense mechanism has a hole in it. You are 3 weeks old when you learn what that gap means. You are resting near a submerged branch when a giant water bug finds you. 6 centimeters of armored insect with front legs shaped like folding knives. It grabs your remaining sibling from below with a grip that cannot be broken. It does not bite the shell. It knows better. It jams its needle-like mouthparts through the gap in the shell and injects digestive enzymes. Those enzymes liquefy your sibling's internal organs while he is still alive. The bug literally drinks him like a protein shake through a straw. You freeze, pressing your body flat into the mud as the bug finishes its meal and drifts away, carrying nothing but an empty, hollow shell. That is day 21, and you are officially down to 1 sibling. The next morning, the sky attacks. A green kingfisher hits the water like a professional diver. Its beak spears through the surface with surgical precision and pins your last sibling to the mud. The bird is back in the air in a second, carrying a turtle that is smaller than its own eye. Now you are it. The lone survivor of a clutch that took 8 months to cook. Tu gay sow, you are nosing through the silt hunting for a freshwater shrimp when a shadow falls across the water. A bare-throated tiger heron. It has a neck like a javelin and a beak built for one thing: stabbing. It stands ankle-deep in your lagoon, its yellow eyes scanning the bottom for any sign of movement. The beak stabs down. It misses your head by 2 centimeters. The water explodes around you. You scramble sideways, kicking up a cloud of mud. That silt cloud buys you exactly 1 second of invisibility. You wedge your tiny body under a submerged root just as the beak punches through the water again, grazing your shell hard enough to leave a deep scratch. The heron waits. You stay under that root for an hour, terrified to breathe. And the worst part? You haven't even met the crocodiles yet. There are 200 American crocodiles living in the rivers and creeks around you. 3-meter ambush predators that share your exact waterways. To them, you aren't even a snack. You are a breath mint. Skip forward 5 months. The dry season hits, and your lagoon begins to die. Every day, the water line pulls back. The shrimp vanish. The fish leave. What is left turns into a warm, brown soup that smells like rotting vegetation. But before you can even deal with the drought, the invaders arrive. Red-eared sliders. Pet store turtles that bored humans dumped here. They have taken over. 1,200 of them are crammed into your tiny lagoon. They are bigger, they are faster, and they are significantly meaner. They steal your basking spots. They steal your food, and they outnumber your species 8-1. And swimming alongside them is a giant musk turtle, an invasive predator the size of your entire head that actively hunts and eats other turtles. You now have a serial killer living in your house that specifically targets things shaped like you. Your biological instincts finally kick into overdrive. You drag your tiny body out of the shrinking, foul-smelling water, push your way into the dense forest edge, and begin to dig. You bury yourself exactly 5 centimeters deep into the loose, sandy soil. As the darkness surrounds you, your body initiates a desperate survival protocol. It completely shuts down. Your heart rate drops to a fraction of a beat per minute. Your metabolism slows to a crawl, nearly stopping altogether. You are now surviving solely on recycled water stored in your own bladder. This extreme process is called estivation, essentially a hot weather hibernation designed to outlast the brutal dry season. You literally bury yourself alive and wait for the rain to return. You cannot move a muscle, you cannot open your eyes, you cannot run if danger approaches. You are completely defenseless. In late April, disaster strikes. The dry brush above you catches fire. A massive wildfire rips across the dried vegetation, turning the forest floor into an absolute inferno. 16 of your species die at this exact site, roasted alive underground while they sleep. They cannot wake up fast enough to dig themselves out. They cannot escape the heat. The lethal temperature radiates down through the soil, creeping centimeter by centimeter. Your tiny shell sits exactly 8 centimeters below the surface. The fire burns everything down to the 6-centimeter mark. Just 2 centimeters of dirt saved your life. That is it. That is your margin of error. When the heavy rains finally break the drought, and you claw your way back out to the surface, you find that 6 entire hectares of your habitat are completely gone. A full third of the crucial dry season shelter that your species desperately needs has been torched to nothing but gray ash. And the worst part is knowing that this exact fire is going to come back next year. Skip forward a year in your miserable existence. You urgently need to reach a larger lagoon on the exact opposite side of a paved highway. It is 3 lanes of high-speed traffic. Cars, massive transport trucks, and heavy buses full of loud tourists heading to the beach resort. You step onto the black asphalt, and it is instantly hot enough to severely burn the bottom of your feet. Your absolute maximum speed is a slow, agonizingly clumsy walk. It takes you 4 terrifying minutes to cross this artificial desert. Earlier this same year, local conservation scientists found more than a dozen violently crushed dead turtles along a simple 300-meter stretch of this exact road, located right next to an occupied swamp. A dozen casualties from a species of only a few hundred. Some were crushed entirely flat by heavy tires. Some were flipped helplessly onto their backs by the sheer wind of passing cars, slowly baked to death by the scorching afternoon sun before anyone ever noticed they were there. You make it across the road, but barely. A speeding yellow taxi passes so incredibly close to you that the aerodynamic draft physically spins your tiny body sideways. Skip forward another year. You are officially an adult now. You measure exactly 78 millimeters long, the size of a standard deck of playing cards. That is it. You are full-grown. You are the world's smallest living turtle, maxing out at less than the total width of a human palm. But as you mature, something absolutely wild and inexplicable has happened to your face. A bright, neon yellow patch has spread across your entire nose. It is vivid, solid, and utterly unmissable in the dark water. No other mud turtle species on Earth has this specific marking. Not a single one out of the 25 different species in your entire evolutionary genus. It is your unique trait, your species' very own built-in selfie filter. And that stupid yellow nose is exactly what is about to ruin absolutely everything for you. But first, you have to prioritize breeding. The rainy season arrives, flooding the lagoon. You smell a receptive female through the murky water and frantically follow her chemical trail. You block her path to get her attention. She immediately bites your bright yellow nose hard. That is the bizarre mating ritual. She has to confirm that you are the exact right species by physically chomping down on that bright marking. You wave your sharp little claws rapidly across her face. She turns around. You mount her shell. 40 seconds later, the entire process is completely done. She swims away, digs a shallow nest on the bank, drops 3 small eggs into the dirt, and walks away forever. Those fragile eggs will need 9 agonizing months underground before hatching. 9 long months where hungry raccoons can easily dig them up, tropical fire ants can swarm and eat them, returning wildfires can cook them alive, or a construction crew can simply pour a massive concrete foundation right on top of them. Because here is the horrific mid-season plot twist that literally nobody saw coming. While you have been busy dodging hungry herons and surviving underground wildfires, your obscure species has suddenly gone viral. Not on wholesome nature documentaries, but on the ruthless international black market. That bright yellow nose of yours. Wealthy exotic animal collectors in China will gladly pay $10,000 for just one of you. 10 grand in cold hard cash for a turtle the size of a playing card. Back in 2024, organized Chinese wildlife traders actually flew all the way to Puerto Vallarta, hired poor locals, and offered them $1,000 per captured turtle. Your tiny lagoons, which are already shrinking from climate change and already choked with aggressive invasive species, are suddenly crawling with greedy people aggressively flipping rocks and dragging heavy nets through the mud. Turtles start vanishing at an alarming rate. They are not being killed by herons, and they are not being eaten by crocodiles. They are just gone. Over 200 individuals, representing a full third of your entire remaining species, are smuggled to the complete opposite side of the planet in a matter of months and shamelessly sold on social media platforms exactly like limited edition sneakers. Then comes the actual heist. The boldest crime in your species' history. December 2024. Professional thieves dress up as legitimate government environmental inspectors. They wear official-looking uniforms and flash fake badges. They confidently walk right into the local university conservation lab, literally the one single place on Earth actively trying to save your species from extinction, and run a fake 2-hour inspection. They forcefully pressure the head biologist, convincingly lying to her that the turtles urgently need relocation for their own safety. They casually walk out the front door with 40 captive-bred turtles. 40 healthy individuals stolen from a total global species of barely 300. Just 3 weeks later, those exact same turtles appear for sale on Facebook marketplace groups based in Hong Kong. In January, the thieves come back for more. They cut through the chain-link fence in the middle of the night and grab 15 more turtles in under 3 minutes. The security cameras catch absolutely everything, but nobody arrives in time to stop them. Your species went from a somewhat stable 1,000 individuals when it was first officially discovered by science in 2018, down to barely 300 surviving individuals today. 70% of your entire population is permanently gone in just 7 short years. There is a very real, horrifying chance that more of you might now currently exist in Chinese collector glass tanks than in the actual Mexican wild. And yet, you are still here. Still slowly walking along the muddy bottom of a shallow lagoon that continues to get smaller and more polluted every single dry season. You are still technically alive, but the mathematical odds of survival are getting completely impossible. Skip forward to your very last November on Earth. You are 5 years old now. The lagoon shrinks down to a pathetic, stagnant puddle barely 10 meters across. It is time to excavate again. You crawl out of the muck, find a patch of loose sandy soil, violently dig down into the earth, and your body shuts off for the final time. You wait in the pitch black for the ring. But directly above you, the human landowner officially files commercial construction permits. Your exact natural habitat sits on prime real estate currently valued at nearly $500,000 per hectare. The corporate developer does not know that you are buried down here. He does not know that your critically endangered species even exists. He honestly does not care that a few puddles equating to 32 soccer fields is all that desperately stands between the world's smallest turtle and absolute global extinction. Heavy earth movers and excavators arrive on site in early March. You are sleeping underground, 5 centimeters deep, your tiny heart barely beating, your body smaller than a standard deck of cards, running purely on recycled bladder water and a metabolism so incredibly slow it barely registers on a biological scale. Turtles, as a broad biological group, have successfully survived on this planet for over 200 million years. Your specific genus goes back an impressive 17 million years. Your tough ancestors successfully outlasted massive ice ages, catastrophic global volcanic eruptions, and even the giant asteroid impact that brutally ended the reign of the dinosaurs. But you absolutely cannot outlast human greed. The heavy steel blade of the excavator drops 8 deep inches into the soil on a random Tuesday morning. You do not even feel the second pass of the machine. You survived vicious fire ants at birth, a monstrous water bug that slowly liquefied your brother through a fatal gap in his own shell, a heron's sharp beak missing your skull by just 2 centimeters, a roaring wildfire that cooked 16 of your neighbors alive while you slept, roaring traffic that flattens a dozen of your kind on a single stretch of road, invasive turtles that outnumber you 8-1 in your own home, ruthless poachers who turned your unique face into a $10,000 price tag and sold a third of your entire species on Facebook Marketplace. And yet, you die unceremoniously underground, asleep in the dark, crushed beneath the heavy poured concrete foundation of a luxury vacation resort that oblivious tourists will happily check into next winter without ever knowing that you or your family ever existed. They will swim laps in the heated infinity pool, post perfectly filtered sunset photos on their social media, and order expensive iced margaritas on a sunny wooden terrace built directly on top of 17 million years of incredible evolutionary history. This world is a deeply cruel, unrelenting joke. But hey, at least you made it to 5 years old. That is an achievement. If you want to dive even deeper into the darkest, most unforgiving side of biological survival and uncover more twisted natural tragedies exactly like this one, do not forget to subscribe to Nerixy. Drop a like on this video, leave a comment below telling us what miserable, doomed creature we should cover next, and please share this video with a friend to completely ruin their day too. Believe it or not, there is an animal out there with an even worse, more pathetic life than the Vallarta mud turtle. But we will have to save that special nightmare for the very next video.